You're now listening to The L Zone, where Patricia Love covers everyday topics that matter to you.
On podcast with me, your host Patricia Love, coming to you tonight about a particular topic that came about between me and my partner Anthony. He posed a question that was posed to him from one of his people in his circle, whatever, right? And the question he asked me in return was, why do women talk to men crazy? Or what is more so, why do women talk to men like they're children? And so from there, a good conversation happened. So we wanted to share it with you all. My answer to his question was, one of the reasons why women seemingly talk to men crazy, that's the way men put it, or talk to them like they're children, is because you all mimic children, which puts us in the mindset of talking to you out of that. Especially if the woman has children already and you're coming into a relationship where there's children there, or that's all they know. You're coming into a situation where she had children already, you're the stepdad. Whatever the situation is, it's only rare if you've had time with each other minus children for people to have a better communication skills. But typically it's because you all are mimicking children-like behavior to us. Mr. Anthony, would you like to chime in?
I understand what you're saying.
Uh-huh.
But I think at some point you should be able to accept that when the guy says, why are you talking to me like that? If you say, okay, you're mimicking that behavior, you all have that discussion about that behavior so things can get clearer and worked out, and the process doesn't keep repeating itself. It doesn't keep happening.
But that's the thing. No one has that conversation. No woman flat out knows that they're talking to the guy because of what they're used to being around as children. It's never, like, the only reason why this came up is because you asked me directly. You've never been like, why are you talking me crazy? And because I'm in a habit of children and dealing with children, certain things that you or people have done, I didn't know I was talking to you crazy. Or let me stop saying that. I'm not trying to talk to you crazy. I'm reacting to what children do, in a sense. Case in point, say I'm dealing with my kids all the time and I'm constantly reminding them to do things around the house, or I have to set appointments for them all the time. I have to do with the school, whatever it is. I'm catering to the child because I have to do everything for the child. So let's flip this to an adult male. If I'm like, hey, you should set up your appointment for the doctor, or you got this meeting coming up, I'm reminding you to do something. The moment that a guy goes, oh, okay, and say I follow up with that person or that guy, and then I'm like, hey, did you do the appointment? Did you make it to the meeting? Did you call your doctor? Oh, no, I forgot. And we get frustrated because we like, one, we care about your health. One, we care about what you have to do to stay focused, to stay on track, making sure the household is taken care of, in a sense, in our mind. Now I gotta do that too because you're not keeping up with certain stuff that is important. And you were doing this before we got together, before the relationship, or while you're single. How come all of a sudden I gotta act like your mama? I didn't marry you. I didn't get with you or start a relationship or start talking to you to be your mom, to take her place. I'm your spouse. I'm your partner. I'm your girlfriend. Whatever you are to this person. But the moment you start doing things like that, it's like, okay, so you want somebody to be like your servant, in a sense. I got to do the cooking, the cleaning, follow up, do all these appointments, and deal with the kids. It's a whole different dynamic when men do things like that. So if we get frustrated and the guy does something and we don't realize we're snapping out on you like we do our children, maybe sometimes, whatever it may be, we're frustrated because we like, dude, you couldn't do that. You can remember to do this. Same thing with kids. You can't remember to take out trash. You can't remember to wash your hands. You can't remember. It's like, what the fuck? Just because we're nurturers don't mean that we're servants, in a sense. It's not, we serve men. Men is like the top gun, like the leader. Just because you got a job and you pay bills does not mean shit. Yeah, that's great. But that doesn't make you just a man. How do you tend to your partner? How do y'all have a partnership? Because if I get sick, everything finna go to shit. You not showing me that this is a partnership right now. So that's my 2 cents on that. For an example purpose.
Okay. Then if a guy can't get you to set up an appointment, because you said he used to do all these different things himself when he was single. He's not single anymore.
Right.
So if you're supposed to be a partner, he should be able to share in certain things that he has to accomplish, certain things that he has to do. Now, if he can't,
clarify that real quick?
Okay, so far as
you saying once he became in a relationship or a marriage, a partnership is a woman supposed to do what?
I'm saying he's trying to share some of maybe his life responsibilities with you at that point.
Okay.
Keep going. You can't help remind me to go do something like that?
No. Yeah, I said we remind you to, hey, you need to call your doctor. You need to do this.
Okay.
I said the moment that you don't do it.
Okay.
And we'll ask you later, days later, it's not the same day all the time.
Okay.
Be like, hey, did you do it? You say, no, I didn't.
Okay. And then it reminds you of a child, a thing that a child would do.
Exactly.
I get you on that.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's not like you saying, okay, how come you're not doing those same things now? You did them when you were single. And I'm saying one of the answers to that is, or I know an answer I would give is, well, I'm not single no more. Because if I go in that single mode, what do I need you for? Okay. I damn sure don't need to marry you.
Now, flip that. Are you making my appointments for my mammogram and me to go see the gynecologist? No, you're not. No, your individual self.
No, but I'm doing other things.
Me too.
That you used to do that you don't do no more.
What
because
you mean?
now
No. See, you added more to that. We're not talking about women stop doing things. We're not talking about that. We're talking about why do women react and say things as if the guy is a child.
I got you.
We're not saying she didn't used to make his appointments and stuff. Most men don't give out that information. I don't know. Hell, I don't know your doctor's information.
I'm saying that's a way for him to feel like he's sharing in his life responsibilities. It might have been a thing he did before, but now he's with you. His mind can be possibly on other things.
But if that's the case, then your mind should be on what I had going in my responsibilities.
I agree.
Are you setting up my stuff? 10 times out of 10, no, he's not.
It might not be the exact same thing.
Okay, I'm saying though, it's one thing to be your partner and help you support the household, be your companion, pay attention to you, show you affection, love, we go on trips, stuff like that, whatever that is. But it's certain stuff as an individual that you still need to maintain. I'm still my individual self. You still your individual self. I don't know everything that goes on with you. I know the major things. Your doctor's appointments, I can just tell you, I only can do so much. Half the time people will get on the phone and say, that person has to give you authorization to do half the stuff that you don't know. Do it. Why all of a sudden I gotta be your mama or fill the shoes of your mama? Because now you like, well, you the woman, you supposed to take care of that. Where in the fuck did they say that at in the vows?
Okay. I'm trying to look at it from the most
I got you.
calm, peaceful way as possible on what usually is going through a guy's mind. He's just trying to share in a responsibility.
Does it come off that way?
I mean, if we go down that path, then
it doesn't come off that way.
Why nigga need to be your daddy?
How he my daddy?
If he taking care of every damn thing,
Who said he's taking care of everything?
Shit, a lot of times he is.
Okay, you talking about for his bills and money?
Yeah, your daddy did that.
Okay,
so he coming in and be your daddy.
I'm not fucking my daddy.
Okay,
I'm
wow.
Not
Okay,
so
it's a sex thing.
I'm not supporting. No, I'm not supporting.
Stop.
I said I'm not supporting my dad.
Okay, so the things between. Oh, okay. If that's a case where you supporting them, that's a raggedy dude. I ain't talking about that now.
No, okay, support can be anything. We already know that. We know it could be emotional. It could be, supporting their dreams or whatever, or, being a sugar mom. I don't know. I'm saying, because we said this in the car, just because you pay the bills does not mean we're not going to talk to you out of something that you're mimicking. If you don't want me to treat you that way or talk to you that way, even though I'm not trying to do it on purpose, you're doing things as a child. Children frustrate us sometimes. We deal with a lot. So if you add on top of that, and I gotta feel you're coming off like I gotta take care of you, like a child.
Okay.
Paying the bill doesn't negate the fact that you're a man. Okay. You're supposed to be a man. Some stuff you're gonna have to still do.
I got you.
Women can't carry the load like that. Like, we already do a lot. It's a lot of single women out here. So when you dating somebody, you don't want that to, like, wait, I gotta take care of you and my kids. In a sense, like, if it's a partnership, there should be a conversation from jump. Hey, this is where my mind is about the roles in this relationship. What do you think? And bounce back and forth. If that doesn't come up, y'all just freeballing and just going off of what everybody in the world thinks a relationship is supposed to be. It doesn't work for everybody.
This is true. I agree.
So if you don't have the conversation about, hey, we're individuals, I have my stuff, you have your stuff. What is your requirements of me in this relationship, in this marriage? I need you to, back me up. We can share responsibilities for bills all day long. That's financial. Throw that out the equation. That's solved. But for as your partner, what are you looking for me to do?
Okay.
And I'll tell you if I can do it or not.
All right. And I understand that. And that makes sense. That really, really does. That conversation should be had. And hopefully, if people listen to it, this podcast or whatever, this episode, they will start to do that.
Especially in the dating phase. Get it out in the
they
front.
Can ask that question.
Right.
But I would expect, too, though, that if I were to say to you, hey, I think you're talking to me like a child, for you then to be like, okay, what do you mean by that? And we break that down and have that discussion. If you don't say, what do you mean by that? And we break it down and have a discussion, but you go into the mindset of, I ain't doing that. Okay, I just told you was doing that. I don't think I am. Okay, now that's the communication that fell all the way the hell apart. Because if somebody's telling you something, this is what I'm receiving from you. And you just keep saying, well, that's not what I'm giving. And that's just you tripping. And that's all your own internal thing. And yada, yada. Okay, hold on. You got to do, if you say you really interested in that particular person, you need to be able to put your shit on pause for a second. Like the movie, what was that movie? I saw it on Precinct 13. We was watching. Anyway, shout out to, Lawrence Fishburne in that movie, right? But anyway, y'all need to pause y'all stuff and really listen to the other person. If they say that, yo, this is what I'm getting from you, and I'm taking it in a very disrespectful way. You don't go, well, too bad. I'm finna keep being me. That means you don't want that person,
right? Because
you don't respect them enough to alter certain things if it's offending them. So if you can't do that, then what? Okay, what the hell is going on? You got to really ask yourself what's up.
If the man says, why are you talking to me crazy? And she says, what do you mean? She asks that question.
Okay.
And he said, you talking to me like a kid. Okay. So when she goes to explain, she explains why she's frustrated. She explains exactly what he's done.
It depends on how she explains it.
Okay, regardless, she's at least telling him instead of saying she's not doing it. She's saying, I don't understand why you can't do this. I don't understand why if I ask you to do this, you don't do that. Whatever their issue is.
I got you.
She goes to explain it. And he say, I ain't doing that. I ain't no kid. I'm me. That's frustrating. Because at that moment, I'm steady telling you what the issue is. You're not fixing it if it's constant. But then you're looking at me like I'm wrong for keep talking to you crazy.
I got you.
Talking to you out of like you're mimicking the kid.
Well, once again, that's the breakdown of communication. If that's the situation, then it's almost that in reverse.
But then why people try to break up? over that particular thing, the communication piece. If it's as simple as
Maybe
communication,
maybe they should break up if they can't communicate with each other. What kind of that's key to a relationship. You can't communicate. It's like at a certain point, y'all need to have a system of resolution, some type of way to resolve y'all issues. If you don't have a system or a way to resolve y'all issues, a baseline that y'all can go to fix the situation, that thing ain't gonna work no way. You're gonna have a relationship full of abuse.
well, that's just one thing though. They agree on other stuff. It's not for us communicating, depending on the topic.
It's something that needs
It's
to be
always
resolved.
being picked up off the topic.
It's something that needs to be resolved though.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. It
So-
does. But
so-
if
But
that
if what?
topic, if that particular topic or situation or issue is not something that they think is important in a sense,
Uh-huh.
for as, okay, we have good communication over here when it's about what we finna eat, movies, okay, day-to-day stuff, whatever, this little stuff. But most people don't deal with the bigger, deeper things because they don't either have the energy, the capacity, understanding, or patience to do that. They'll brush it off as that's just how that person is. Some people get caught up in they like that shit because it's something to do. I don't know. I've seen both sides of it. But it's like, how do you get men to realize the woman ain't their mama?
The same way you gotta get women to realize that man ain't your child.
But it starts with the guy.
No.
It does.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
I'm listening.
If she has a habit of doing something, that started way before he even showed up.
No, it's not a habit. I'm dealing with children. So if a
So
person,
that begins with
no.
you.
Right. I'm dealing with children, right?
All right.
So
That's the start
that's
over
a
there.
fact.
Okay.
2, if you're a man
Uh-huh.
mimicking childlike things,
In your mind.
yes,
Okay.
in my mind or
Mhm.
that person's mind,
Yeah.
if you're mimicking a childlike thing, and I
Mhm.
tell you that you're mimicking the childlike thing,
Mm-hmm.
that could be you always want to buy new shit, or you always like just dumb shit. You're
Uh-huh.
not thinking about the household, how you move and operate, or you think somebody's supposed to take care of you and have the car and house ready for you, whatever the fuck.
Uh-huh.
That's a childlike thing. That means I'm taking care of you.
Okay.
If he comes into the thing like that and I talk to him out of that, he needs to change it.
Okay.
I'm not his mama. I'm not supposed to
Okay.
give him a car like how we buy kids cars and shit.
Okay.
When
Okay.
they-
Okay. Well, let me chuck this in there then.
Okay.
If you say he does a thing like he forgets to take out the trash, let's say that's his gig.
Repeatedly. Mm-hmm.
That's his gig, and he keeps forgetting to take out the trash, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you like, damn, why don't you take out the trash? And he like,
And I said and the person said just like that. I keep saying
all
The
right.
person said just like that.
And then he like, don't be talking to me like I'm your kid. But you like, well, shit,
Stop
I gotta,
letting me repeat.
if I gotta keep repeating, take out the trash, then you acting like a kid.
Yeah.
Not that you my kid, but you're
You
acting
like a kid.
childish. All right. So if he has to remind you of a particular thing,
Like what?
it don't even matter.
Nah, it matters because
Don't
most women don't
even-
need to be told unless it's
They don't.
regarding sex. Why we can't have sex tonight? Can we have sex tonight? Can we do something outside of
Cook
physical?
Dinner.
No. That's
Cook
odd.
food. That ain't odd. It's a whole bunch of brothers out here dealing with that. He got to come in and ask each night to get something to eat, or he just eat out because he like that's dead.
But what is
That's
that
a no
mimicking?
go. That's a no go.
But what is it mimicking?
A careless ass woman, a
How's
thoughtless
it-
ass woman, a
how's it
lazy ass
careless?
woman.
How's it lazy?
You
If
got
I'm-
him. You ain't
if
gonna
I'm
try to help
cleaning,
your man. You ain't
is
gonna
she
try.
cleaning?
Hold on. So
I'm listening.
if they had
I'm listening.
at least what they think was an agreed upon thing, like y'all had an agreed upon thing with the trash or whatever, and he think he got an agreed upon thing with damn, I expect dinner at least twice a week.
Okay. Most women cook. That's rare that you don't.
Shh.
That's rare men complain. I'm sorry.
What?
You're a guy. You have male friends.
What?
My bad.
Dudes do complain about that.
Most of the stuff that dudes complain about that I hear male friends is she's not attentive to my needs.
Yeah, that's huge too. Why you gotta remind you of that?
Because you're acting in a way that gives us no. It's like you got to give to get.
Same thing on your end.
True. Very true. Right.
So
if people are doing things,
So
even
then
though
it-
it's not the same situation, it's not the same topic or whatever,
Mhm.
say his stuff is on, he's acting like a kid to her. His is, okay, you're not cooking, you're not tending to my needs,
Mhm.
but they're missing each other because they are basically penalizing each other for what they're doing to each other.
Yeah.
I'm not giving in to you. You need to give in first. It starts that whole cycle.
Yeah.
That's two different things right there. And it all starts from what you said, communication.
Yeah.
But the solution is, okay, yes, you need to have the conversation. Three, or one, you need to have a conversation. Two, you all need to take yourselves out the equation and look at it from the other person's point of view. Would you want somebody talking to you crazy? No.
Mm-hmm.
Until you have the conversation with the person, they don't know. Until you put it in a way for them to get it,
Mm-hmm.
they're just, like you said, out of habit at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then three, it's like, okay, write down, if verbalizing doesn't work, write down the things that are the issue, not the nitpicking. Don't do it in a way to dog the person out. Like, what is your real thing? Is it how that person makes you feel?
Mm-hmm.
How they treating you? Like, how it's coming off to you? Do you feel like a servant? You feel like you about to step into their mom's shoes or something.
Mm-hmm.
You not trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or like with the guy, you want a partner, or I don't know, you want a servant. You thought a relationship was this. Say that. Don't be scared. Y'all already in a relationship. You already in the marriage. You dating phase is where you hash all the shit out.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't hash it out and have a foundation of being able to, I feel this way. I feel like you treat me this way. It's overloading and overwhelming when I feel like I gotta do everything. Even though you pay the bills, I thank you. But like you told me, anybody can pay bills. You get the right one, they got a job, they can pay the bill. Or she can pay her own bills. She's doing it before you.
Mm-hmm.
So that should not be the reason why you tie somebody to something because you're paying bills. That makes no sense to me.
Okay.
So, I mean, I get everybody roles are skewed on what that really means, but what works well for your relationship?
And I would say too, yeah, you gotta have that conversation and you gotta take yourself out the equation and hear what the other person is saying. That is all accurate. As well, maybe I'm adding on to that, but you definitely can't be in the mindset of, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
If the person is saying that is what they're receiving, yeah, you're probably doing that. Or you're doing something to aid them in receiving it that way.
You basically saying what they're saying is stupid.
Yeah. You just dumb. You just taking it. You thin skinned. You weak. You this, that, and the other. I mean, this is all kind of stuff that people say to each other. But we need to be able to, like, calm down, settle down, and be like, Dad, let me hear you out. You hear me out. And then we work on a day-to-day basis to stop. So the next is not going to be an instantaneous change. So the next day or the next hour when the person does it again, you got to be able to say, okay, hold up. That's kind of what I'm talking about right there. That particular thing.
And the changes are going to happen overnight. If they are trying their best to change the behavior or the habit to, do better, don't knock them the moment that they revert to the thing that pisses you off.
This is true. You gotta have patience.
You gotta have patience,
especially if you can kind of see that they're trying, and you need to look for that too.
Right.
That they're trying, and be honest that damn well they are trying. Let me try.
You gotta look at it. If a dude's been a hoe all his life before he got married,
mm-hmm.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying
mm-hmm.
he had to break out of that before he got into a relationship. He
mm-hmm.
went through a process. Some don't. I'm
mm-hmm.
talking to the few that I know who had to give it up, and they did what they need to do before they dated the person
mm-hmm.
and approached them. They let it go.
Yeah.
In a sense. But just like a female, if that's all she knows and that's all she's been around, most of, girlfriends and stuff don't count. You're not around them all the time. But if you're dealing with children
mm-hmm.
or, doing it all by yourself, you're in the habit of being in that situation, that zone. So it's an adjustment period for everybody.
Yeah.
You have
I
to be understanding to that.
I agree.
Now, I'm not saying if it goes past 3 years or a year or two, I don't know, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, if they just gonna keep
They
on
just
doing
gonna
it,
keep
then
doing
you
it,
just
you
gotta be like, okay, that's how that's
Pick
gonna
your
be.
battles
And
at
then
that point.
go ahead and head on out the door. Be like, okay, this ain't
Well,
gonna
no,
work.
pick your battles.
Man, this ain't gonna work. I know I'm not gonna stay in no relationship where
Wow.
I'm consistently being talked to like a child. And I thought we
Okay,
had
that's one
this
situation.
discussion. I'm just saying, after a certain amount of time, be like, okay, that's how you gonna rock. You're not listening
Everybody
to me.
knows their limits. Let me just say that.
Yeah, and then
Right.
be a man or woman of your word. If you know that's your limit, that's your crossing point, rock with it. Don't sit there and make yourself a slave. And then you have your own character deteriorate to the point where you ain't nothing no more. You can't even recognize you when you look in the mirror. Don't do that to yourself.
Don't be used.
So try to work it out. Try to give it like all like pour in. If this person is worth it, only you can decide that. If they ain't worth it, then no, don't do that shit. But if you think that this person is worth it, go for it. Try to make that thing work. If you're trying to tell them it don't work in the morning, tell them in the afternoon. If it don't work in the afternoon, tell them at night. Maybe they need to hear it over a meal. Maybe they need go for it. Don't be too quick to give up.
Be assertive, but
Yeah.
don't be mean and disrespectful with it.
Yeah. Be just as cunning as you were to get with that person to craft a message to reach them.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, some people out here being sugar mamas and sugar daddies.
Anyway, you get what I'm saying.
I'm just joking.
So
But no. Well, that's it for the podcast tonight. Hope you all enjoyed it. Have a good night.